architecture versus civil engineering. Okay, architecture. The first thing you say is like, obviously as anything that you would think is money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what
true.
what does an architect earn? It's like, what does it's like, he earns a lot more than flipping civil engineering.
Yeah.
But then I looked at it. By the time this guy's finished 8 years course, this guy would have earned about 4 years of money. So you just think like you have to think mechanically about this, and I did it, and I was like, yeah, it does not make any sense to me. But then something clicked in my head. Is I said this feels right. And you need to, and a lot of times, seriously, it's like I say to a lot of people, follow your gut feeling, because your gut feeling is like 99% right. If it's wrong, it's a decision that you make. It's not something that you've been imposed to. So I always say to people, like, no, seriously, just like,
Follow your gut instinct.
Follow your gut instinct. That's it.
So as soon as you followed him, I'm assuming you went there.
Yeah.
How long was that? 3-4 years?
So no, remember, I'm still doing GCSE at that time, yeah. So like, no, I was starting to look into the course I had to do to get into the university that I wanted, or to do the course I wanted to do. So remember, it's like, you're coming out from GCSE, and then like, you have to choose subjects. So those subjects have to, like, they have to be able. I mean, they would allow you. They would give you the platform to go to the course that you want to do in university. So we either go to A university or B university, it doesn't matter. But you need to do like certain subjects. For example, I don't know, it's like, if you want to become a biomechanic engineer, whatever it is, like, you need to do physics, chemistry, and probably maths. It's like, so that's sort of the free subject given. And like, for me, it was more like physics, maths, to do civil engineering, physics, maths, and another subject. And that subject could be anything, but it was mainly like those two subjects. So you need to know what you do, you need to investigate.
Your choices makes a difference.
Exactly. So that was a process of me moving from GCSE to A level, and then once I go to A level, obviously I chose already the subject I want to do in university. So it was just a matter of following it through. So yeah, I did I did maths, physics, and art, and also because I still wanted to keep the option of doing architecture as well, just in case. So, and then I did Italian because I speak Italian, so I did 4 A levels.
Oh, that's amazing. So you speak Italian as well?
Yeah,
wow,
fluent.
That's great. Yeah. So you got to uni.
Yep.
Now you studied 3-4 years, right?
Well, yeah. I went to uni. I did 5 years course. By the
5 years. What was the reason you did 5 years?
All right. This is really, really important to any young person that listens to this. Is when you come out from university, you need to be employable. And the only way you can be employable is if you got experience. So when we were offered, when we were offered on your second year, they tell you, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to carry through the end of the year? I mean, in your third year or fourth year, whatever it is, without doing placement work, or do you want to do placement work? And initially, I'll be honest with you. This is another moment of my life that changed my course of my life as well. And like, I just wanted to finish. I just want to finish because like there were certain circumstances in my life that pushed me to finish. But my professor called me in his office, said to me, listen, you would be mad to just go through this without doing the placement. So you need to tell people. That's why hence I always tell people now, like any young person that I meet, if you're doing like in a university, get 1 year out, but do experience on your field.
That work experience is very important. Anybody hearing out there, that work experience is very important.
Don't look for the money, because I mean, like, I'll just give you a perspective of what I had 3 choices of placement work. Seriously, like, not talking to them about money, but one of the job that I got offered is like double of the job I took. And remember, at this time, like, I was at university paying all my stuff by myself, and and we were expecting a child as well at that time. So
hold on, you can't just drop that. Hold on. The guy just dropped something, right? Let's go back a little bit, right? So people can understand what he just dropped. So hold on. While you were studying at uni,
Yeah.
right? You was expecting a child.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's basically like
Is this the
it
first year, second year, third year? What year?
like second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Let's get this right. You're in a second year at uni.
Yeah.
Right? You're still a young man.
Yeah.
Right? You're expecting a child.
Yeah.
Right? How was that for you? We're not gonna let it go under the carpet.
Nah.
So how was that for you? Because you're still young. Because
Yeah.
normally people go to university, they're still partying, they're still having fun. All of a sudden, now, do you know what? You made this choice. This is what you want to study. Boom.
Yeah.
You're having a child.
I'll tell you one thing is like
Because you know what? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
Because in a normal circumstance, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people will think, you know what? I'm going to drop out of uni. I'm going to get a job so I can take care of my kids. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you stuck to your studies.
I did.
How? Why? And explain to me, where did that come from?
First and foremost, we had a very good family support. So at that time, my partner's family, luckily they were here, and we had a good family support. So, when I say good family support, they we could stay with them and so on, because obviously having a child at that age, we were both young, and it's not something that you can deal with it by yourself. You can handle it, you can go through it, I'm not saying, but having a family support is very, very important, and luckily we had that support. So that put us in a pedestal slightly different from other people.
But did that give you more drive?
Not only drive, but that's just you have to motor your way, mate.
Because certain people can crumble.
No, I love challenges. I love the challenge, the fact that I had to to handle to be a father to a child, and at the same time provide for him, and at the same time keep
That
going.
gave you extra engine, extra drive.
It did. Believe me or not, it's it used to be crazy times, and I used to go to university, come out, go back home if I got time, help out whatever, and then I used to do pizza delivery. So driver.
Man was working hard.
Yeah.
Yo, give him a clap for that one. Listen, that's a good father.
Definitely, man.
Yes.
Pizza delivery, put your helmet on and just run around, and the Maida Vale area
Because
was
certain guys, they might run away.
No.
They might not handle it. They might get stressed. They might think, you know what, this is not for me. I got a dream.
Creation, man.
Do you get what I mean? So for you to stick, and not just to stick by, and for you to think, you know what, this is gonna inspire me to do better. It's amazing.
No. I mean, look, is my partner. She gave she gave her life basically to raise our family. So it's I have to give her props no matter what.
Let's give her props to the mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she interrupted her studies and everything, and today she's she hold her family together. So it's this journey is not only about me, but it's not you need to have that partnership, you need to have that understanding.
Right. Going forward,
Yep.
you graduated, right? When you graduated, did you knew or did you have a plan what type of job that you wanted to do?
Okay, so I think we need to get back a bit.
Take me back.
Because it's, as I was saying earlier, is get your work experience, because that will give you a perspective what you want to do. Even seriously, it's I know a lot of people, they finish their university, they wasted 3 years or 4 years of the university. They come out and they say, I flipping hate my
You know what? That's a very important thing you just pointed out, because I feel like in the Habesha community, a lot of people study things.
Yeah.
They think that's what they need to study, or they study things that what the family or parents wants them to study. And as soon as they come out, they don't know what to do. They're going to experience or nothing. So that's a very, very important.
There's two misconceptions about university or what you want to be. First of all is in a lot of the sort of Habesha community, there's a bit of pressure from the family, and that pressure is not good. It does not matter. Let your child be what they want to be. If they want to be a musician, let them be a musician. If they want to be a doctor, let them be a doctor. If they want to be, seriously, is obviously you don't have a lazy child that's staying at home 24/7. But if they are being productive, let them, because the world is not made up of doctors or accountants
That's
or
right.
lawyers. So like, your child needs to find a niche, and that niche is what is going to carry them in their life. They need to be happy. I remember, like, I used to know a girl. She was brilliant. I'm telling you, man, it's like, I mean, she was like, she's not Eritrean, but, and she was brilliant at maths and everything. But all she wanted to do is, she didn't want to have nothing to do with going to university and so on. She just wanted to become a social social worker. And that's it. And like, I remember we used to have a conversation, and she used to say to me, "Oh, like, my family doesn't like, they want me to do this, they whatever, they think I'm wasting my talent and so on." And I used to say to her, "Look, like, be what you want to be, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to live your life." So, well, and then the other misconception that within this of the Habesha community is how much money I'm going to make at the end.
Yep.
Because it's like becoming like, I remember, like, in my days when I was studying business study, I was like, what do you study? Business study. What do you study? Business study. What the what's wrong with these
They
people?
automatically think that's
It's
like,
like,
make the money.
because like they believe that studying business study would give them money. I swear to God, that's just a completely fucked up misconception they had. So all I'm saying is you need to love what you want to do, like what you want to become, because money will come. If you're good at what you do and you love what you do, money will come. And like, and I would rather be happy and poor rather than be rich and miserable.
Amen
So
to that.
it's just a simple concept that people, they don't understand. But what they don't understand also is, if you do what you love and you do it with, like, with a bit of grit and heart, is like, you can be very good at it. And I wanted to become, I want to become structure engineer, because, like I said to you, is when I did my work placement, I had an offer that was twice what the structure engineer firm offered me. So the other one was like sort of like a civil engineer work, which is like in the British Rail, which what they now they call Network Rail. So and they offered me quite a substantial amount of money for a student engineer. Remember, I have not graduated yet, and that would have been my starting salary as a graduate engineer, what they offered me. So as a student engineer, you should, like, is what we call nowadays apprentice, isn't it? So, like, usually in this day's age, they don't give you a lot of money. They just give you your expense and your travel and so on. So at that time, they offered me like almost a full salary of a graduate engineer. So I refused it, because I do want to be bloody, like, I do want to work in, like, I do want to become civil engineer in rail. That was not my.
You had a clear mind.
I had a clear mind. So, and then another example is when I graduated, is as what you would do is you would test the water, isn't it? So you go to different companies. I had already an offer waiting for me from the company that I did work experience with. So it was not like I had a guaranteed job in a sense, but I just thought, let me test the water.
So this is why it's important to do work experience.
Absolutely, you are employable.
Yeah.
Because remember, people, they don't like to waste money educating you. Because remember, what you study in university is not what you're going to be doing at work. This is another big misconception, because like you running through the university's course and finishing your course, if you think that's going to be what you're going to be doing in real world, that's completely different. So it's got double benefit of doing the placement, because it gives you a perspective of whether you like it or not, whether you're going to enjoy it. Because remember, like, saving 1 year of your life studying is better than finishing university and looking back and say to yourself, fuck, I fucked up. So like, now I have to go back to do something else. I have to do mastering. I have to do this. And then B is like, it gives you like, you put already your foot on the door, because it's like, it's more likely that you're going to be, I mean, obviously you have to do great when you do your work placement. And one of the trade that I like, just to give you an example, is I used to stay until 7-8 o'clock in the evening when I was doing my placements. Although I had a child, I was not getting paid for this, but I wanted to learn. I just wanted to, I had to grind.
But you put the work in, you put the grind.
That's it. So it was important to stick and make sure that you do that process. So to cut the story short, is seriously, anyone that is doing this, you're going to university, make sure the university that you're going to does have a link with the industry so that they can provide you work placement, because that's quite important as well. And then B, make sure you do the placement. And when you choose the placement, don't go for the money, because one company is offering a lot, because they in a sense, you are becoming their slave for that year. Because remember, you're going to be doing the donkey work. You're not going to be doing any real job or anything. So make sure even the company that you're going to work for, if they got a program to educate you, not just to do the what you call it, passing papers, printing papers. That's not what you meant to be doing. You need to have they need to have a real program to educate you and bring you to a level where when you come out of it, you're better than what you came in. So those processes is quite important. And then talk to people, talk to people and make sure you talk to people. So this is more directed to the younger generation that they're coming through now, the one that are 16, 17 or 18, even the one at university, hopefully they will listen to this. And
I mean, even the people who are grown enough, but they want to change careers.
Exactly. Or even the mom and dads, because they can educate their children as well. So I'm sorry to say, what day Timirtu, what do you? That's not important. Timirtu, what do you? If he doesn't have a job, I know a lot of families that they got their children, universities, what they have got on coffee lomalo. You don't want to fucking have grown ass men in your house and hasn't got a job. And you want your child to be out of your house. Don't come back after university. Go find your place, because you're gonna find your job. You're gonna.
But this is a very, very important message that we need to send out to people. I mean, you can send your children. You can make them study the things that you want, but by the end of it, they're not doing anything out of their life. What's the purpose of it?
Absolutely.
There's nothing. There's nothing. It's a wrap. You're not going forward in life. You're actually going to be sitting at home, don't know what you're doing. You're going to be more depressed. You're absolutely lost in life. So it's very important to allow your children to do what their passion and their will, you know. Absolutely.
And don't impose on them. That's a simple word. Have a word with them. Talk to them. Don't impose on them. So anyway, so moving forward, I finished university. Then luckily, I just stayed with the same company that I was working.
That's the same company you did work experience.
Yeah. And luckily, what they've done for me as well is they during my last year of 2 years of university, because I changed my degree from BEng, which is like a sort of a normal degree, to MEng, which is like a master degree basically. So they gave me I was working with them part time. So instead of working in McDonald's, working in the pizza delivery at that time, I was working with them. So it was great. I had a job that was giving me good hourly rate and so on. So these are all the perks and benefit that you get when you do placement and so on. But it does not mean you're gonna get it. But if you're lucky enough, you could get it, because it's you need to show them the willingness to work hard.
But it's very important for people to hear this, because sometimes people just want to hear the glory story. You know what I mean? I'm making money. But people forget, how did I get, or how did that person get to that position to make money? And it's very important for people to hear a story like yours. Yeah. How did they get to that position? Absolutely. So we're going in the right direction. So now we're here, you graduated, you're working in a place where you did a work experience.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
So from here, how long did you stay at this workplace?
So to another small story, don't stay in one place. I mean, the reason you don't stay in one place is because I had a clear goal. I knew what I wanted to do. So and that clear goal was I wanted to eventually set up my own company. I did not want to work for anyone.
So you already had a clear goal.
I want
to work for myself.
Yeah.
I want to do something with myself.
Absolutely.
And this is what I want to do. This is the clear road. This is what I want to take.
Absolutely. and then also protect yourself. And the reason I'm saying protect yourself is like, how much effort am I putting and what reward am I getting from this company? Because at that stage, I could be choosy because I got the experience. And this is why, hence, doing the experience is quite important, because then you could be choosy. Because, like I said to you, is before other was like ending my university, I tested the water, and I had a lot of offers. And one of them was like actually going to Dubai and so on, doing things, whatever. So it's like I had quite a few offers that came on board and whatever. But I chose here because we had a child, and therefore staying around was like essential for the stability of the family, because otherwise I had to go by myself and then bring later on my family wife. So anyway, it was important that I stick around and so on. So you make yourself, like, you need to make yourself employable, and the only way you can make yourself employable is by working hard and getting experience. Believe me or not, I told people, listen, even if you don't get paid, do your work experience. It is the most important things in your life. Seriously, if you make that kind of decision, is really, really important.
Get that under your CV.
Absolutely. So work experience is important, and so on. So anyway, so moving forward, after a year, I moved on to another company, and then this is where I say to people, look, like, you need to ask yourself, like, what is the value of me? Because remember, like, you're intelligent, you finish university, you've done your graft, and at some point you have to demand, like, why am I getting paid, and how much I'm bringing to this company, and so on. So, like, I questioned myself once I received a bonus of.
You had to evaluate your value.
Absolutely. So what I did is, like, I received. I don't want to tell you the paycheck, but after working on a big project down in Kingsway, in Fulham, like, I evaluated myself. Like, I brought these companies so much money in terms of value, and like, this is what I get. So it's like, I said to myself, you know what, I'll be like, I want to do, like, I want to work as a contractor, basically, like, contract hours. So, like, and you need to be confident about these things. These decisions are hard, because remember, if there's any downturn in the economy, you're the first one to go out the door. So you need to be confident enough to say to yourself, you know what, like, I can handle it. So I made that decision. I said, okay, look, I'm going to be, like, I told them, look, this is the enumeration that you gave me for the bonus is not acceptable for what I've done. I'm not going to accept this. So I told them, like, I'm going to be working as a contract, because remember, like, I had a young son, and I was working late hours every day. And there was no reward for the late hours I was working. Every night I used to close the office. I remember setting up the thing, the alarm and everything, and the cleaners, they used to go before me. That's how bad it was.
But you got to be mentally strong to do that, because you got a kid. Sometimes it's easier to make a choice to think, you know what, I want to quit money. But by hearing your story, you're thinking a long term.
Yeah, it's a long term, but also you need a support from your partner. If you don't have that support, then it's likely it brings complication to your relationship and so on. So, like, I still have an understanding partner that, like, she's always by my side, whatever decision I make. So that is really important, regardless of what you, like, how you say it, what you say. But that's what holds the glue.
So the key is to find the right partner. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Balkun. Hi, Balkun. Hi, Balkun. Don't put my heart in my. Don't blame me. No. Beside the joke, yeah, it's crucial. It's important. And ladies, support your ambitious husband.
Yeah.
Or husband, support your ambitious wife. So,
like, I just wants to be politically correct.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's you need that support. Otherwise, you can't do it, because mentally will drain you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Physically you drained, but then the mental side is what keeps you going. And it's like,
you need the right person to support you, and I can imagine, because mentally it could be a difficult moment to be.
Yeah, because remember, like, you're going home at 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. You left home like early morning. Like, so
It's
it's
not
like
easy.
it's not easy. So it's whatever. But luckily, it's like I mean, the good thing I used to do is like actually, one of the worst traits I have is like I'm not punctual. And today it's like yeah, like everyone, everyone knows me for not being punctual. So, but what I do is I make up somehow, and the way I used to do it is like
You compensate for the work.
I compensate for work. So what I used to do is like I used to drop my son every morning to school because that's one thing that I used to enjoy. So I drop him. And then I used to get to work at 9:30, half an hour late. But then they call they call me the 9:30, and whatever says like, there you go. And sometimes we used to have a team meeting and so on, and they used to delay because I used to come late. So.
You know, some people say important people arrive late.
Yeah. So this is I try to correct it, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's my worst trait. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think I ever hurt or harmed anyone by being late.
Keep doing what you're doing. So,
yeah, go on.
Now, let's picture this. You graduated, you did your work experience, you got a job with the people that you did your work experience, you left that job, you moved on to the next company.
Yeah.
Right? Where was the turning point? You start thinking, okay, I'm going to start doing my own thing.
I mean, that was a check. Remember that bonus I told you?
Yeah.
That
was it.
That was it. I mean, in terms of the turnover, remember I dealt in a project that was $500,000 project, and pretty much
He's dropping it as nothing.
No. I mean, this is the turnover from that project.
So that made you think, you know what? If I can turn over $500,000 with this company, why can't I do my own thing?
Well, let me give you a point. It's like when I was in a very, very low numeration at that time because I was still like I mean, remember I was still classified as I was not project engineer. I was not whatever they still call me grad engineer. It's like, but then I was running the project myself because it's like I was a project engineer, but as my qualification calls it, is a graduate engineer, and I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was doing because they sort of and then they gave me a bonus of seriously, it's peanuts. It's not the fact that it was peanuts.
So you wasn't satisfied for the work that you put in. You wasn't compensated for the bonus that you should deserve to get.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the $500,000 turnover is not like I was doing it all by myself. Always like I had a team with me that was helping me to do it. We had I had about 2-3 people working with me to get the project going, move forward, whatever. But the majority of the work was done by me because I had to go to meetings, I had to do all the things, whatever. And it just felt wrong. It felt wrong in a sense that, you feel, hold on a second, it's like, this is wrong. So this is why I said to you, you need to evaluate every time, after a period of time, you need to evaluate how much are you worth? What are you doing? So, and then luckily I had an Italian friend who used to work in our company and left to work on a very, very small company. I mean, we're talking about this company turns millions in a year, and I'm going to go to a company that turns 100,000 a year. So this friend of mine called me, said to me, "Oh, look, this guy is desperate, he's looking for help. I left him because I had to leave for some reason, whatever. But if you want, I can put in touch." And we used to talk about, me and him, we used to talk about, we want to set our own company and everything, whatever. But one thing for another thing, we just moved on in different direction and so on. So, and this was perfect for me because I calculated the fact that, for me to get a job of $500,000, I cannot get, who would trust me for that money, whatever. So there's no, and then also you need to have the infrastructure within your company to deal with that kind of project. So I knew I had to start from bottom and go up. And this guy, Nick McLean, he used to do this small project, and hence I went to him. I started working with him. Believe me or not, he was the best educator in whatever. Even I met him 3 days ago because he's helping me on one project that we're dealing with, and it's basically you build that relationship that lasts forever. And the guy I worked with him for almost 3 years. I learned a lot.
So sometimes it's important to take less
Scale
money
back
for more education.
Absolutely.
You will learn more.
Absolutely.
To benefit you in the long term.
Absolutely. And then within that company, I knew my target was to learn from him, to learn how to do these small scale projects, so domestic projects and small commercial projects. That's it. So that was my way in to get into whatever. Then I started building up a relationship with different developers and architects and so on and so on. My name was was getting circulated around, and every time they called in the office is they wanted to work with me rather than any other engineer within that company. So in that sense, it was great. So yeah, it felt good in a sense because I knew my plan was working. So I moved on to that company. I worked for 3 years with him, and then I started moonlighting because obviously I'll start getting my own projects now. I'll start getting whatever. By the way, just a quick mention in here, small advertisement. Remember, we have a show, we don't know how to advertise. We don't know how to market ourselves.
Yeah. Say how it is.
It is seriously, I marketed myself in Yellow. At that time, it was yellow.com or Yellow Pages. I marketed myself. Believe me or not, it's the most important link I had. It was because of that small marketing.
Marketing is very important.
Marketing. So I marketed it was a free ad, by the way. I'm laughing.
It's like a Facebook. Instagram is free ad.
Facebook. It's so you need to know your niche and you need to target it. And my one was I had to put in Yellow Pages because it's yellow.com was popping up them days, and then I had to whatever. So I did it, and that link was still until now. It's I got develop. I mean, my best builder, the build that I do all the development work is. I traced it back, and it was a one phone call that was made by a guy in Lewisham that got me introduced me to an architect, and from the architect I got to know this builder, and this builder
everything links up.
We working until now. Wow. So it's remember, it's this is it. So market your stuff. It does not matter how little, how big it is, what you do. If you are if you're doing typewriting or whatever it is, it's just anything that you do, just advertise it, because you will. Any trade can be, there will be someone to call you, and that's how you get big. And so my point in here is marketing is the most important thing.
That's the key word.
And one more thing is value yourself. Again and again, value yourself, because valuing yourself, it does not mean hyping up yourself or putting yourself in a pedestal, but it means you know what you're worth. And we got this Bahli or what
our community is very
reserved. We don't,
we don't big up ourselves.
This is it. This is another issue that I had until not recently, but for the last whatever. I never used to tell people what I used to do, which is wrong, because it's it is wrong because
does that come from our community?
100%. But is that right? So.
It feels like you're showing off.
Yeah.
Instead of inspiring people, sometimes we have to celebrate, accolade or the things that we did so we can inspire people. But I feel like in our community sometimes where we feel like, oh my God,
absolutely.
Or am I showing off? That's not the case. I mean, why we worry so much what people think?
You should not be worried.
You worked hard for it. If you hear the story now,
listen,
what you had to go through to get where you reached. So why should you not celebrate or tell people what you do?
Absolutely, 100.
It's very important that for people to know that.
It's not only that. It's also inspiring other people. It's a friend of mine, Bini Hawaii, rest in peace, by the way. I remember in 2011, 12. It's because we used to hang around whatever, and he said, "Why don't you ever talk to us about what you do at work?" I was like, it's. This is in 2001, because obviously I was still doing work, whatever. And he asked me, why don't you tell us what you're doing in your workplace, man? Whatever. And I said to him, I do whatever. At that time, we were doing, I was designing, probably you guys know, is Whittington Hospital in Archway. So, they did this big foyer in glass and whatever. And I was like, I was involved in that project. I was like, yeah. So it's like, they did a 5-story building as well, and I was involved in that. It's like,
Yeah.
so
Big up to that.
it's
A lot of people know that.
yeah, it's not that.
It's a taboo we have in our community where if you start telling people what you do, or I don't know where it came from, is it a culture thing, or is it from the past, is it from back home? You feel like you're showing off, or you feel like, oh, am I feeling like I'm showing the people that I'm above them? But
Exactly.
we need to forget that.
That's it.
You know, things need to change.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So, like you said, is we need to forget that. It's not. Don't say, oh, I'm making money. Like, no, don't. That's not the point. The point is, tell them what you're doing. Whether you're doing bakery, whether you're doing dancing, whether you're doing anything, then you need to tell people what you're doing, because the reason is, you don't know what whether the next person needs you or not, or like they need your service, by the way, not needs you, but they need your service, because, and then this happens, So, and then B is like you could be inspiring someone else. So it's just like we need to break the ice.
Absolutely,
Break the ice.
Absolutely, and I hope people listen to this.